planned by the BJP during the Ram Navami celebrations. Tensions escalated Howrah after a second round of stone pelting a day after Ram Navami. Police carry out flag marches. Furious locals tell them to go back. India Today crew heckled by an angry mob. Politics breaks out over India's new parliament building a day after Prime Minister Modi's surprise visit. Congress calls it a vanity project and a waste of money. BJP claims it was the UPA that greenlit the new parliament project. No relief yet for former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. A Delhi court denies bail to him in the CBI Liquorgate case. Gujarat High Court sets aside order to furnish the degree certificate of Prime Minister Modi under RTI. 25,000 costs imposed on Arvind Kejriwal. And former US President Donald Trump indicted after a probe into hush money that was paid to porn star Stormy Daniels becomes the first former US President to face criminal charges, likely to be arrested next week. Okay, let's turn to tonight's top story. A day after India celebrated Ram Navami, I'm afraid that the festivities in many parts of the country that were marred by violence have resulted in continuing tension in some parts. More reports of arson and clashes have emerged, with Howrah in West Bengal emerging as one of the epicenters of the violence. Curfew still continuing in that area. Remember, violence had also been reported in Aurangabad, or what is now Sambhaji Nagar in Maharashtra, Vadodara in Gujarat, and now also reports coming in from Sasaram in Bihar. In all those instances, we've seen worrying communal clashes. But the state where it's been perhaps the most aggravated has been Bengal. A day after violence and arson broke out in Howrah during the Ram Navami celebrations, the area has witnessed more bouts of stone pelting today. The police have made many arrests since the violence yesterday. The ruling Trinamool Congress is accusing the BJP of provoking the violence. In return, the BJP and its leader in the state, Shuvendu Adhikari, has moved the Calcutta High Court demanding deployment of central forces and claiming that the Mamata Banerjee government has failed. It's our top story tonight.
Violence, arson and stone pelting. Ram Navami celebrations turned into a communal flashpoint in West Bengal's Howrah since Thursday. On Friday, there was still no end to this violence, with fresh stone pelting reported. The Mamata Banerjee government has deployed riot police to control the situation, but the police struggle at times to rein the rioters. Even the India Today crew was heckled by the mob.
There is a lot of anger amongst the locals in this area. There is a lot of anger amongst the locals in this area. And they are literally pouncing on the media. So as soon as they're seeing the cameras, they're pouncing on the media person who are present there.
Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur targeted the Mamata Banerjee government, saying even journalists were being attacked in Bengal.
ममता जी के राज में जिस तरह से पत्रकारों पर हमले हुए, शोभा यात्रा रामनवमी की निकालते हुए उन पर पथराव हुआ है, इससे ज़्यादा शर्मनाक और क्या होगा कि अगर पत्रकारों को भी हिंसा का शिकार होना पड़ता है, लहूलुहान होना पड़ता है और राज्य की सरकार मूक दर्शक बन के बैठी रहती है, आंखें बंद करके रखती है, तो उसकी जितनी निंदा की जाए उतनी कम है.
Amidst this violence, a political blame game has escalated between the ruling Trinamool Congress and the opposition BJP. The Trinamool Congress released videos claiming guns were brandished at the Ram Navami procession. The TMC claimed violence was perpetrated by BJP supporters from other states. The BJP, on the other hand, accused the TMC of provoking this violence.
এই ঘটনার জন্য দায়ী মমতা ব্যানার্জি এবং তার দল। তার তোষণের রাজনীতির আজকে পশ্চিম বাংলায় চরম জায়গায় গিয়ে পৌঁছেছে।
যে যারা বাংলার শান্তি শৃঙ্খলা সভ্যতা নষ্ট করার জন্য নির্লজ্জভাবে রাস্তায় নেমে গাড়িতে আগুন জ্বালিয়েছে, ইটপাটকেল ছুঁড়েছে, এলাকা অশান্ত করেছে, তাদের একটাকেও ছাড়া হবে না। আমাদের কাছে নির্দিষ্ট তিন চারটে ভিডিও আছে। আমি প্রথম ভিডিওটা, যেখানে কোমরে পিস্তল গুঁজে রামনবমীর মিছিল হচ্ছে, আপনারা দেখুন কাদের প্ররোচনায় হচ্ছে।
Section 144 has now been enforced in Howrah South area, but with violence continuing for 2 days, the Mamata Banerjee government has a huge challenge ahead. With Suryagni Roy and Indrajit Kundu in Howrah, Bureau Report, India Today.
And earlier today, I spoke to the West Bengal Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee. I began by asking Mamata Banerjee, Ms. Banerjee, your first reactions to the violence that we've seen that's taken place in Howrah over the last 24 hours, the communal violence that has taken place during and after the Ram Navami procession there.
Actually, you know that 48 hours I was in Dharna for the demand of West Bengal and to save the democracy of this country. I was on the road, and I am asking all the people, all the community caste together from since 72 hours that please maintain peace. We are not stopping any Ram Navami rally or any Ramadan, nothing. You do it peacefully. We will give you all support. Even our people also done the rally, but there is no problem. But BJP planned it. They had a plan about 1 month, and they will disturb the country when they did not counter the other two others, LIC, when they cannot counter the opposition parties, how they are interfering in it through ED and CBI, then they have chosen the right way, the dangas, so that they can create the violence. After that, they will send the central teams in the name of so-called BJP, and they will send the NIA, and they will go to the court, and they will give some direction against the past. This is their plan, and this plan we came to know earlier. So there was a plan. There is a plan to create the violence in 100 places in Bengal also. What they have done was across the country, 100 places, they have created this communal rights. Now in our state, fortunately, I said fortunately, we were alert, and that's why we didn't allow any place except Howrah. When same place, yes, earlier also they created the confusion. Now this time we said it is denied, the permission is denied. I don't tell them that in the name of Dharma to do the rally. I didn't stop them. But you see the picture will speak itself, that how they went there along with revolver, the petrol bomb, the everything, and they attacked the minorities community. जानबूझ के कि उसको रमजान मास चल रहा है, इसी के लिए उधर से पहले प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेंगे, उसको पिटाएंगे, बुलडोज करेंगे, उसको एक्सपोज करेंगे, उसको बाद चैनल को बोलेंगे कि देखो इनको पता चल रहा है. I don't consider them as Hindu. They are the criminals. The criminals have no religious identity. So what they have done, we are taking a strong action, very strong action. We are helping all the minority people whose houses has been burned, whose shops has been broken. BJP will create the dangas, and if you support, then they will take the advantage. Don't give any advantage to these criminals. And we have already arrested 31%, and we will take strong action who have done this wrong thing under the leadership of BJP, local BJP leadership. I really feel sorry. It's a plan for BJP to disturb the Bengal. पहले इकोनॉमिक ब्लॉकेज करो, उसको बाद कम्युनल राइट्स लगाओ, उसको बाद बंगाल को डिस्टर्ब करो. They do not know if Bengal is disturbed, the country is disturbed. If Bengal is disturbed, the country is disturbed. If Bengal is disturbed, Bangladesh is disturbed. If Bengal is disturbed, Nepal is disturbed. If Bengal is disturbed, then Bhutan is disturbed. If Bengal is disturbed, then other parts also will be disturbed. They do not know. They are doing this blunder intentionally, deliberately. I condemned their attitude. And
Yeah.
I will appeal all the political parties, even from Tamil Nadu Stalin to Arvind, to KCR, to Jagan, to Hemant, to Naveenji, to Nitishji, to all the opposition parties. Be together, Udhav, Akhilesh, Tejasvi, all be together. Let us fight the battle strongly against of this BJP. Let them be isolated from the country because they will be isolated. Everybody, they don't allow the press to show our program. Give the instruction to the press people. Don't show the dharna of Mamata Banerjee. They cannot stop me like this. If they stop like this, don't you think we have our constitutional rights, our democratic rights, our voice? But they are bulldozing all the rights. That's why this is the time. Let us work together. Let us fight together. Let us speak together. Let us sit together. And let us decide the plan of policy. Who will be leader? That is not the matter. All the citizens are the leader of this country. We are the we fight from the behind.
Ms. Banerjee, right through you're saying that this is a deliberate action and blaming the BJP. But the fact is, Ms. Banerjee, law and order is a state subject. The buck stops with you, it stops with your police. So questions will be raised over police action or inaction. You seem to suggest that the violence was one-sided, but the images will show that there is violence on both sides, Hindus and Muslims being involved. So the big question is, will your government take responsibility or not, since law and order is a state subject and action should be taken against all who've in a way taken the law into their own hands?
ये हिंदू नहीं था, ये लोग क्रिमिनल था, ये लोकल नहीं था, ये लोगों को बाहर से ले आया गया था. Along with banduk, I gave you the picture, you show the people. Along with banduk, sword and everything. Even with petrol bombs. Police tried to stop them to enter the area. The permission has been denied. But they didn't listen. At that time, if police fired, then somebody may die. That's why that time, police was not able to control the situation. But within 2-3 hours, we control the situation. And now I told police, be stiff, be strong, and take all the strong steps against of them so that they should understand what is what.
But Ms. Banerjee, as I said, there are also images that show that anti-social elements from the minority community, Muslims also involved in stone pelting. Some reports suggest that they too were involved or in the violence. So I want to understand, are you very clear that your government will act against anyone, Hindu or Muslim, who's involved in the violence?
Minority community was not at all involved because they were busy with Ramadan and Namaz. But this area was not allowed to go. It was totally their police problem. They told us the permission is denied. But forcefully, they went to bulldoze the people. And it is not, I am telling, it is not communal violence. It's a deliberate intention to create violence, to panic the minority people and to beat the minority people. I don't in favor of any particular community, but I am in favor of public. Either Hindus or Muslims or Sikh or Isai. When they pray the God, they cannot pray for any violence. They pray for peace. So I will request them to maintain peace. For the criminals, they have violated, they have created violence. We will strong action against them.
So you're saying that those who are involved are criminals. Strong action will be taken against all involved. But 24 hours later, situation remains tense. There have been some flare-ups even today. Are you giving an assurance that the situation will be brought swiftly under control in Howrah and any other part of Bengal where there is any trouble?
Yesterday, the community, it is not community problem. It was not the communal violence. It is BJP created criminal violence. Their intention to attack the minorities. And they have already broken their houses. They burnt their houses. But we will compensate we will give all the relief to them. Whoever whose house is being broken, I do not know which community, which caste, but we will give full help. We are totally with them, the victims, and we will give full help. And this is not Hindu Muslim. This is public versus the criminals, because some leaders, they are getting permission from the so many agencies and Delhi that you do these things, we will give you full protection. So from agency they are giving the protection. From so many agencies, I am not mentioning the name, they are giving the protection so that government cannot do a FIR against of the criminals. They are criminals. That is going on. Is it a country's constitutional provision? This is the problem.
Okay.
It is not state government. It is बीजेपी का विनाश काले सत्यानाश हो गया है. विनाश काले और नंदलाल बना गया है. ऐसा नंदलाल कि 40 दिन से हिटलर से भी ज्यादा हो गया है. सुपर हिटलर बन गया सब बीजेपी लीडर लोग. हमको टैक्सफुली करना पड़ा, लेकिन हमको टैक्सफुली मैं भी कहना चाहती हूँ कि जो ऐसा करेंगे उसको प्रॉपर्टी भी अटैचमेंट कर देंगे. ये हमारा कानून बन गया. अगर पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी कोई डिस्ट्रॉय करे तो इसमें उसका खिलाफ में उसको प्रॉपर्टी भी अटैचमेंट हो जाएगा.
Mamata Banerjee, who I spoke to a short while ago. Okay, we heard from the Chief Minister. Let's widen the debate. Has the violence put the Mamata Banerjee government in Bengal on the back foot? Does the buck stop with the Mamata government when it comes to violence on the streets? Is the BJP playing with fire in Bengal? These are some of the questions we'll raise. Riju Datta, TMC spokesperson with us. Sanju Verma, BJP spokesperson. Vikram Singh, former IPS officer, former DG, Uttar Pradesh. Appreciate all of you joining us at this moment. Sanju Verma, to you first, because you heard Mamata Banerjee there. She is saying that the BJP is deliberately stoking communal violence to target governments. We've seen, interestingly, violence taking place in BJP-ruled states as well, in Gujarat, in Maharashtra, and we've seen violence in Bengal, which is opposition-ruled. How do you respond to her charge that outsiders were brought in? She's even put out photographs of people with revolvers on some of these Ram Navami processions, and that the BJP is stoking the flames, is what the Chief Minister says, using criminal elements.
Rajdeep, I have to say this. I admire Mamata Banerjee's ability to lie with a straight poker face. Let's be very clear, and I'll put out some facts in the public domain for you. Mamata Banerjee, 72 hours back, said that she expects violence on Ram Navami in Howrah, in Park Circus area, in Dalkola, and in Islampur. So I want to ask Mamata Banerjee, since she has the ability to crystal gaze into impending events, and she was so sure that there would be Ram Navami related violence, why is it that the police machinery did not swing into action? And as you rightly said, under the 7th schedule of the Constitution, law and order is a state subject. And last I heard, apart from being the Chief Minister, the de facto Home Minister of West Bengal is Mamata Banerjee. But I'm not surprised that she's blaming the BJP and other right-wing elements, because Mamata Banerjee stands for zero accountability, zero transparency, and she should realize that as the CEO of Bengal, in more ways than one, the buck stops at her doorstep. But I'm, unfortunately forced to say that she is the same Chief Minister, Rajdeep, who, after the post-poll violence in 2021, clearly said post-poll violence to hua hi nahi. And if you remember, in August 2021, a 5-judge bench of the Kolkata High Court not only admitted there was post-poll violence, it handed over the entire case to the CBI and actually castigated the Mamata Banerjee government in no uncertain terms, saying that if she tries to obstruct the course of justice, the High Court will view this very seriously. My limited point is, Mamata Banerjee's track record is far from flattering. ये public है, ये सब जानती है. झूठ बोलना बंद कीजिए, and please, for a change, learn to be accountable as the Chief Minister rather than simply indulging in rhetoric and blaming the BJP for everything under your long and incompetent nose.
We'll come to the Trinamool's accountability, ma'am, in a moment, but let me persist. As I said, there are also images of people in these Ram Navami processions carrying revolvers, provocative slogans, clearly they're not speaking in Bengali, which suggests that there were outsiders who had been brought in. How do you respond? Are you saying that the BJP is blameless? Are you saying the BJP is blameless not just in Bengal but in other parts also, in where all your opponents are saying BJP is fomenting trouble? Even the Shiv Sena is saying that here in Maharashtra that the BJP is fomenting trouble during Ram Navami, and we have images of your suspended BJP MLA, and I'll play them in a moment, from Hyderabad, Raja Singh, making the most provocative slogans in Hyderabad before a mosque. So the question arises, is the BJP blameless?
You know, Rajdeep, let me be very honest with you. As a responsible national spokesperson of the world's largest political party, I will clearly say this without any ifs or buts. If there are elements who are related to the BJP, or if there are BJP leaders who are indeed involved, please don't spare them. But for Mamata Banerjee to say that we have identified it was BJP leaders who created problem, my simple question is, Mamata Banerjee, if you're so sure these were BJP supporters and BJP leaders, why is it that you have filed an FIR in Howrah against 200 unidentified people? You could not identify a single BJP leader. If you have the guts, name them and shame them. But when you don't name them and shame them and simply indulge in a general statement that BJP is creating problems, then it shows your incompetence. And I will just tell you one thing, Rajdeep. I have been on your debates during the peak of the hijab controversy. And I remember when there was that picture which went viral on social media of a young burqa-clad girl being apparently intimidated by some young guys who were wearing saffron color t-shirts and waving saffron flags. Nobody knew whether they were a Varun, a Karan, a Dharam, or a Salman, a Salim, and a Junaid. But what did people say? अरे नारंगी कपड़ा पहना है, नारंगी flag लहरा रहे हैं. These are certainly BJP workers and BJP goons. By that logic, Mamata Banerjee, the CCTV footage clearly shows that most of the people who were vandalizing were wearing a safed gold topi. If anyone who wears a narangi is a BJP goon, then why is it that anyone who wears a safed gold topi is not a radicalized Islamist? You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Okay, ma'am, the fact is there are images of those with saffron bandanas even in Maharashtra who are seen entering a mazar, and we have images of people with caps who are throwing stones. So, you know,
Rajdeep, are you blind to people wearing
like keval kapde se jaye, it's a dangerous argument, but let Riju Datta now respond. Riju Datta, you know, the question I asked Mamata Banerjee, the buck must stop at the end of the day when it comes to law and order with the state government. If the police wants, they can ensure that a Ram Navami procession goes ahead peacefully. You can't post facto blame, the BJP. The BJP is not in power in Bengal. It's your government, buck stops with you. Your police officers should have ensured that there was no violence.
Okay, now please give me the uninterrupted courtesy of time like you gave the BJP counterpart. First and foremost, BJP needs to hire translators because apparently these trolls do not understand Bengali or their direct translation. What Mamata Banerjee said was, it is the indication that BJP always have in certain minority areas like Islampur, Dalkola and Howrah where they want to incite violence. Nothing more than that, number one. Number two, there were 10,000 plus Ram Navami rallies in Bengal. This was one part of Howrah, one small locality called Shivpur, and there also one particular basti. So stop blaming and maligning Bengal at the drop of a hat. Number two. Number three, there was no police permission for this rally. All the groups and all the gangs of BJP that applied for permission did not get police permission. But unlike Delhi, we did not stop the Ram Navami rally. Number 4 point, I'm asking the viewers of India today, is there any violence on Diwali? Is there any violence on Christmas, Durga Puja or even Eid? No. Then why on Ram Navami? In which Hindu scripture has Lord Ram or Prabhu Ram said that you bring illegal guns, choppers, swords and knives to pay respect to me? We have published the videos. I am telling you with all authority here, because I have got input from the police, there are 36 arrested, that the BJP is behind it. Subhendu Adhikari, one day before in
if the BJP, no, just a minute. No, Sanju Verma don't intervene. He did not intervene with you. Sanju Verma, he did not. Producer, bring down Sanju Verma's audio. No, Riju Jatta, if you are saying BJP is involved, arrest the culprits. You see, you say unidentified people. My point is, I come back to it. Whether there are 10,000 rallies or one rally, the police's job is to maintain law and order. You cannot abdicate that responsibility by simply saying, look, we could not control the situation in one area.
Rajdeep, 200 FIRs filed and 200 unidentified people, 36 arrested. And I am saying it on record, as my National General Secretary did a press conference said, it is Subhendu Adhikari who has done it, because a day before, he from a public stage in Shambazar said, put your eyes on the television tomorrow, 1 crore Rambugs will be on the road, and you see what happens. And 1 week before that, during the President's visit in Calcutta, he was with Mr. Amit Shah. And I'm saying it on record, BJP is a bunch of Muslim phobes, criminals who want to spread communal hatred for electoral mileage. And I'm sure Mr. Amit Shah also is behind it, because he made a phone call to the governor of West Bengal, very good. But he also made a phone call to Sukanta Majumdar. Who is Sukanta Majumdar? Now, Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister of the country, can call the governor, no problem. Why is he calling the chief of BJP in West Bengal? What has he got to do?
Okay,
he's an MP from Balurghat.
Riju Datta.
So this is a clear, and I'm telling you, on record, this is a clear attempt to violate the law and order of Bengal by the BJP.
Okay, you believe it's a clear attempt. You know, Vikram Singh, we are seeing, as I said, a pattern in several states this time. And in most cases, when the procession has gone through minority areas, we've also seen loud music being played in front of mosques. We are being told of provocative slogans, and we are being told of stone pelting also taking place from some of the areas of Muslim minority areas where Muslims are on the street. Now, what is the role of the police? In all these states, is there a failure somewhere of the police to anticipate trouble? Can the police say, we didn't know the direction in which the Shobha Yatra is going to go, as they are now claiming in Bengal or indeed here in Maharashtra?
Mr. Sardesai, the job of the police is to be absolutely proactive and ensure foolproof and fail-proof law and order arrangements, which they failed to do. And to say that they were for outsiders, I really don't know what outsiders are. A person who's charged of a crime is a criminal, and it's the job of the police to identify and ensure that he's put behind bars. And to say that 36 arrests were made, it is coming too little. I don't know if anybody has been booked under the National Security Act or not. And if not,
so how could what could the police have done, Mr. Vikram Singh? Specifically, what could they have done if I have got two groups engage in clashes with each other? What could the police have done to ensure that peace was maintained? Let's be clear. At the moment, only one death reported from Aurangabad, so we must be careful. You know, sometimes images suggest that this is happening nationally, but I want to understand, what could the police have done that they didn't do in your view?
Mr. Sardesai, wherever this happened, the police were caught on the wrong foot. I have no doubt in my mind. They should have done proper homework. There are 5 records in every police station in the country: the communal agitators list, the festival register, that is the Tyohar register, the communal violence list, the SOS confidential diary, and the intelligence inputs. All these are reviewed before any such arrangements, and the licenses that are given and the permissions given are duly vetted and rehearsed. Obviously, this or nothing like this happened. Now, if the two groups are pelting stones at each other at war, the police should come down in between and come down like a ton of bricks on all the brick batters. We have the drone technology to identify in advance who has stockpiled the brickbats on the rooftop. And then if we have anti-riot, non-lethal alternatives. First use them, the water cannons, the lathi and other tear gas. I don't think we were in a position to use that. And if we're not able to use that, then impose curfew. Under 144, impose curfew and ensure that man, woman or child goes back to his home and the streets are made empty. We cannot have a free-for-all like this. Obviously, the police were caught on the wrong foot. And they were absolutely at their wits' end.
You're saying the police was caught unawares. I just want to play. I want to play a video. I want to play a video of Hyderabad, because in Hyderabad, and this in a sense is also troubling. Here is the suspended BJP two-time MLA Raja Singh. You can see that he's making a speech which is clearly a hate speech, talking about Hindu Rashtra, saying India is a Hindu Rashtra. Just listen in for a moment, and I want you, Sanju Verma, to respond to this, because you cannot allow people to get away with this. Listen in to how Raja Singh was speaking outside a mosque there in Hyderabad. Now, Sanju Verma, I know that Raja Singh is suspended, but he was once with the BJP. The worry is that Ram Navami, which should be an occasion to celebrate the greatness of Ram, has now become an occasion for a militarist, aggressive version of Ram, which is directed against the other community and is creating tension. This is surely not what Ram Navami was meant. Now, Ram Navami was meant to celebrate Maryada Purushottam.
Okay, Rajdeep, you asked me a question, a very important and a very sensitive one. And I think you're conducting a very fair debate. It's important for me to let you know that there is nothing militant about Jai Shri Ram. But, you know, be it the Brussels bombing or the Mecca Medina bombings, Allahu Akbar karke logon ne bomb chalaye hain, Jai Shri Ram bolkar kabhi kisne bomb nahi gera hai. Point number 2, you know, there is a famous Hindi saying, झूठ के नाव सच के समुंदर में चलते नहीं. झूठ के नाव सच के समुंदर में चलते नहीं. झूठ बोलने वाले अपना स्वभाव कभी बदलते नहीं. झूठ बोलने वाले अपना स्वभाव कभी बदलते नहीं. And I'm talking here about Mamata Banerjee. Rajdeep, you understand Bengal politics a lot better than so many of us. Tell me, be it the Bashirhat riots of 2015, be it the Malda riots of 2016, be it the Vadodara riots of 2017, be it the Asansol riots of 2018, be it the Jadavpur riots of 2019, be it the Sitakulchi riots of 2020, be it the post-poll Bengal violence. If there was one reason why all these incidents took place, it was because of a Hindu-phobic chief minister called Mamata Banerjee, not allowing Hindus to either celebrate Ram Navami peacefully or even celebrate Hanuman Jayanti. So the last person who should be lecturing about secularism is Mamata Banerjee, because Mamata Banerjee को सुनकर वो कहावत याद आती है, चोरी भी और सीना जोरी भी.
But you cannot justify the kind of speeches that the likes of Raja Singh are making outside mosques. That is not part of this great religion called Hinduism.
Do you justify Mamata Banerjee's? Tell me one thing, Rajdeep, and today I want to ask you this for a change. Mamata Banerjee says, I ask people not to go to Muslim areas to avoid trouble. Is Murshidabad a Muslim area? Is Malda a Muslim area? Is Uttar Dinajpur a Muslim area? Is North 24 and South 24 Parganas a Muslim area? Because in all these areas, Muslim population is more than 34%. What is a Muslim area?
Okay, Riju Datta, just a minute, ma'am. Riju Datta, the charge which is being made, and this has been made earlier also, that the West Bengal government has pandered pandered to extremist Muslim elements over the years for electoral benefit, and the chickens have come home to roost because your government cannot act against those elements. How do you respond that the police is seen in Bengal, according to the BJP, as not being even-handed?
First of all, Jai Shri Ram was once upon a time a warm greeting in this country. Now under the BJP rule, it's a lynching war cry. And we have several incidents to prove that. No, please let me finish.
1 minute, ma'am. No, he must be allowed.
Do not interrupt. She has quoted some riots. So from Godhra 2002 to Delhi to Muzaffarnagar to Lucknow to everywhere where there were riots, then I will say Prime Minister Modi is a disgrace to the Indian Constitution because he is a supporter of the appeasement for the majorities. Then I will say the Prime Minister is a disgrace to the Indian Constitution. I will say Mr. Narendra Modi is a Muslim phobe then. What kind of argument is the BJP putting forward? The bottom line is, as per the Indian Constitution, which stands as of today, the Hindus or the Muslim both have equal rights to celebrate their festivals. Anybody who causes violence, who incite violence, should be brought to book irrespective of their religion or their political affiliation. One of their MLA is giving hate speeches. Another MLA is watching porn in the Vidhan Sabha. This is the bunch of criminals who are running this party. 39% of MPs in the parliament have criminal cases, and they are giving us lecture on national TV. Please, madam, introspect.
Let's though focus on the fact that we are in a country which has one of the largest Muslim populations in the world. We are a country which celebrates every festival. Ramzan is celebrated and so is Ram Navami. Anyone who takes, I repeat, anyone who takes law into their own hands, whether by pelting stones or brandishing revolvers, unacceptable. Producer. Okay, you're saying she's Hindu-phobic and he will say that your party is demonizing Muslims. Either way, India's greatness lies in its inclusivity, its ability to live and let live. Jio or Jeene do. Celebrate Ram Navami, but you cannot celebrate it brandishing revolvers, and you cannot respond by pelting stones. Unacceptable. What is needed in this country above all else is mutual respect for each other. That's the greatness and the genius of this country. The land of Bengal is the land of Tagore, Vivekananda, and many other great Indians. Let's celebrate that spirit once again. I appreciate my guests joining me on this sensitive subject. Thank you very much. Okay, let's turn to the other big story tonight. India has reported 3,095 COVID cases in the last 24 hours. This is the highest daily infections this year. Maharashtra recorded 700 new cases on Thursday, the highest in 5 months. Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, held a high-level meeting on Friday. The state has advised use of masks by people with respiratory diseases. The good news, of course, is hospitalizations are still few. Take a look at this COVID status check.
Doubling in 7 days, 3,000 cases for 2 days in a row. Positivity rate touching 3% mark. Indications are that 3 years after it brought the world to its knees, COVID-19 cases are to grip India once again. The culprit here, XXB.1.16a, subtype of Omicron, is the one causing the surge in cases. This subvariant rapidly transmits and has additional mutations.
Special attention needs to be paid to stop transmission within hospitals. For instance, when people with fever come to hospital, they should not be spreading the virus to other vulnerable individuals. Therefore, triaging and wearing of masks, especially within hospitals, will be helpful.
What then are the symptoms and who's vulnerable?
This time with COVID-19, we are seeing symptoms with high-grade fever, body ache, some running nose, and cough. However, these symptoms can be severe in age groups more than 60 years of age or patients suffering with comorbidities like diabetes, blood pressure, heart diseases, or chronic lung diseases.
The problem is that this is the hybrid lineage of recombinant XXB of the Omicron family, the fifth variant of concern that continues to be the one which is most infectious by far. Ever since it was first detected in Botswana and South Africa in November 2021, it continues to circulate globally pretty much unchallenged.
India has seen over 40% jump in daily COVID-19 cases, highest in 6 months. The central and the state governments say they are not seeing a surge in hospitalizations.
बहुत कम अभी केसेस हैं और कोई सीवियरिटी भी नहीं है, लेकिन तैयारियों को देखते हुए हमारी 60,986 बेड्स हमारे अभी तैयार हैं कोरोना के लिए. इसमें ऑक्सीजन वाले बेड्स भी हैं, इसमें वेंटिलेटर बेड्स भी हैं, इसमें आईसीयू भी हैं. 7,986 बेड्स हैं, जिसमें से 66 बेड्स केवल ऑक्यूपाइड हैं. आरटी-पीसीआर के टेस्ट करने की हमारे पास सफिशिएंट क्षमता है.
Doctors continue to advise going back to basics.
The good news, however, is that most of these COVID cases are just mild illness, behaving like common cold and flu. But it is important that we do test in these patients. So that we get a right diagnosis and can then accordingly isolate them. Most of these cases require just symptomatic care, rest at home, isolation and good hydration. We must remember that the precautions, that is wearing face mask if one has symptoms. The caretakers or people around also need to wear mask. We need to avoid overcrowding and we need to maintain social distance, wash hand and follow the cough or sneezing etiquettes.
What about vaccinations and how far will they protect the population?
With the upcoming of the mutant variants, there can be a decrease in the effectiveness of the existing vaccination. Having said that, multiple studies has been done in the population which clearly suggests that the currently available vaccines, which are the Covaxin and the Covishield, will help in protecting the population against severe forms of the COVID-19 infection. The government clearly instructs us to take at least 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccination along with 1 precautionary dose of the COVID-19 to protect us against the severe forms of the COVID-19 despite having the mutant strains circulating in the population.
With Sneha Modani, Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me now is Dr. Vikas Maurya, Director Pulmonologist, Fortis Hospital. Appreciate your joining us, Dr. Maurya. Tell us, do you believe that this latest surge of COVID is being driven by the variant XBB 1.16? Is that what is driving it? And is it true that this variant is such that vaccines also may not necessarily act as some kind of protection?
Yes, I think what the report has been so far coming out is that this variant is causing most of the infections at the moment related to COVID in India. And yes, and what we're seeing that yes, now for past few weeks, we are having increase in the number of the COVID cases. But yes, these are majority the milder cases. And so far, we have not seen any patient, we have got few patients who got admitted in the ICU with oxygen requirement as well. But they responded very well. Mm-hmm. So far, we have not seen any increase in the mortality with this disease. Yes, it may cause, escape with the vaccine because the one patient who got admitted in the ICU, he got all 3 doses of vaccine, but still he got severe bilateral pneumonia and he was admitted in ICU with high oxygen requirement. But yes, he responded to that.
But doctor, is it that those with prior respiratory diseases are most vulnerable to this variant? Is there a connect between having a prior respiratory condition and getting infected by this variant?
See, I would say is basically those who are high risk individual, like those who are elderly, those who are immunocompromised, those who have any chronic lung disease or chronic kidney disease, chronic liver disease, or any cardiac disease. Obviously, they are more liable. They may get more severe form of the disease. So it's not only the respiratory, but other chronic disease can also makes the immunity less, and these people can have more symptoms severe as compared to other people.
But doctor, what are the symptoms that one should be looking out for? Because when do you know that this is not just another respiratory disease and you possibly have COVID, are you saying that the moment I experience any kind of cough or fever, I should immediately go and get myself tested for COVID?
See, it's the intensity of the symptom, which, what we are seeing with the COVID. COVID really causes, again, the fever high, which doesn't go in 2-3 days. And then again, it's come very rapidly, start involving, if the patient is immunocompromised, start involving, lower respiratory tract as well. But predominantly the symptoms are fever, prolonged fever, then cough, and very, very less symptoms of, the nasal symptoms are very less. But again, going very rapidly to involve the lungs, then yes, then we would think of, then it would be COVID. But predominantly at the moment, we are seeing only the milder form of the disease with fever, high fever, and with upper respiratory tract symptoms.
And what would you advise people? Are you advising people therefore to mask up in public places once again? Or are you saying that just be careful, if you have any of these symptoms, stay at home and isolate?
Yeah, at the moment, that's what we are, advising the people, that obviously those who are of high risk group people, we are advising them, because to start, using the COVID appropriate behavior. And obviously those patients who have these symptoms, we are giving them, symptomatic treatment and advising them isolation and to stay at home. And obviously to isolate from their, people at home also, and plus from others. So that it doesn't spread.
Right.
At the moment, it's causing more of the milder form of the disease, but yes, we have to be careful about it.
Okay, I think the good news is that it's very minor at the moment. It's not leading to increase in hospitalizations and very, very few fatalities. So that's the good news. The not so good news is maybe COVID with a new variant is back. Appreciate Dr. Maurya joining me there from Fortis Hospital to tell us the very latest on that story. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to our Get Real India story today. The Kalakshetra Foundation in Chennai is one of the more prestigious in the country, but now it's been rocked by charges of sexual harassment. Bharatnatyam students of the Rukmini Devi School of Arts run by Kalakshetra are alleging sexual harassment by a male teacher, accusing the foundation of a cover-up. It's our Get Real India story tonight.
Hundreds of girls sitting on a dharna protesting in their school against alleged sexual harassment. This is happening as we speak at Chennai's iconic Kalakshetra Foundation's Rukmini Devi School of Arts, where Bharatnatyam dancers are up in arms. Students have accused the Kalakshetra Foundation of ignoring serious sexual harassment allegations against a male professor. And the moment the accused professor entered campus, the students came together and walked out.
We're inside the prestigious Kalakshetra, and here right now nearly 200 students are protesting over this place, and they have certain demands and they claim that enough is enough, and they are raising serious concerns about harassment inside the premises. We have a couple of students with us. What exactly is happening? Why are you protesting here?
We have been facing the physical and the verbal assault. We have been complaining it to our director, who anyways won't take any complaint, and she'll just say to people, if you have any problem, just take TC and go. So we want to know to whom we will approach for such complaint.
Veteran singer T.M. Krishna, dancer Anita Ratnam and many other artists in Chennai have extended their support to the protesting students, even as the state government has promised all possible support.
இந்த நிலையில் மாணவிகள் நடத்திய உள்ளிருப்பு போராட்டத்தின் விளைவாக கலாட்சேத்ரா ஃபவுண்டேஷனில் உள்ள கல்லூரிக்கு விடுமுறை அளிக்கப்பட்டு விடுதிகளை விட்டு மாணவிகள் வெளியேற வேண்டும் என்று உத்தரவிட்டிருக்கிறார்கள். இந்த விவகாரம் எனது கவனத்திற்கு கொண்டு வரப்பட்டவுடன் மாவட்ட ஆட்சித்தலைவரோடு தொடர்பு கொண்டு விவரங்களை அறிந்தேன்.
The National Commission for Women has also taken note of the protests and the students' allegations, and the State Women's Commission also met the aggrieved protesters on campus. Serious allegations of sexual harassment, of discrimination against students based on their appearance, has rocked one of the most historic and well-known art institutes in the country. With Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let's now look, complete shift in mood. The Cosmo India Blogger Awards were announced on Thursday. This edition included a new category for lawyer bloggers. Cosmo is, remember, part of the India Today group. And let's take a look on who were one of India's biggest influencer awards. Take a look.
We're the Cosmopolitan Blogger Awards 2022-23, and here is me bringing you all the action in terms of the winners, what was hot, what was not, what happened. Let's take a look at all the action now.
The electric lightning energy in here. Woo! Look at this room now. It is the room of absolute winners.
Fiamma and Engage presented Cosmopolitan Blogger Awards 2022-2023, co-sponsored by Calabar. India's biggest influencer award saw the biggest bloggers in the country in attendance.
A lot of content creators are coming on board, and that's amazing. So you have to stand out by just being the raw and real version of you, and I think the people connect with you even more when you show your real side.
To find a purpose, to feel like myself. और मेरे साथ इतना कुछ हो चुका है ना लाइफ में कि मेरे पास बहुत स्टोरीज हैं बताने को. मेरे लाइफ में बहुत कैरेक्टर्स. मैं एक पंजाबी फैमिली से आती हूँ, जॉइंट फैमिली से आती हूँ. I've always been surrounded by people.
People are growing, the mindset is changing, and at the end of the day, that's what we want. Like, we all should be allowed to do whatever we want to do, no matter man, women, whatever it is, whatever gender, everybody should be allowed to do whatever they want to.
I want people to feel confident and not be like afraid to wear the clothes they want, be happy in their bodies. Yeah. And I literally started posting that, and somehow I have reached it.
It's a very important award that I won, not just for me, it's for my entire community. सारी मेरे बहनों के लिए है.
Gurfateh Pirzada and Nargis Fakri emceed the evening.
So here's what we're going to do. If you think these moments were unreal in a good way, I want all of you to say yay!
It's my first hosting and Bloggers Award and everything, and I had such a great time this evening.
I'm so glad to hear that. Which was your favorite category?
All of them actually, but I think to be really pin it out, I think the body love one. They were amazing. Also, what Sushant did up on stage, that was incredible. I loved it.
The categories in which awards were won included LGBTQ, body love, fashion, makeup, climate change, sex, and for the first time in India, a category for lawyer bloggers.
Wow! Who knew we boring lawyers would be content creators one day?
This year we have also got the Cosmo Lawyer of the Year, talking about Instagram lawyer. One second, what does that even mean? These are basically proper, legit lawyers. And they are using Instagram as a way to spread news about women's rights.
Oh, wow.
Yes, about what your rights are and how you can be armed better with that sort of information and really be confident about your own life.
Fashion designers too were in attendance and gave their stamp of approval.
We have people in fashion who love to wear fashion. We have grooms who are ready to wear anarkalis and lehengas now, which is amazing. And the guys who are like, this is for the runway, we don't care.
You must be very proud today to have been associated with this event.
I love it. I love it. The men I've met, the quirkiness, the women, everyone to point.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not that they are doing it as a profession. They're doing it for the love. Yeah. And they're enjoying it. And I said to the men, I said, flaunt it. Yeah. And then I got inspired to wear red lipstick as well. Yeah. So in the afternoon today is fantastic.
Awards night was lovely. It was good to see some new names and new creators getting recognized for the work that they're putting out. So on the whole, I think the Bloggers Awards is fantastic, and I hope we do this for another 10 years and it will just get bigger and better.
Well, that's all the action that we could pack in, the behind-the-scenes action and so much more that happened. We could go on and on and on because it was such an exciting event. But for now, thank you so much for watching.
That's it on the show tonight. Remember, IPL season is here, so lots of cricket to watch on the weekend. Plenty more, of course. So you stay well, stay safe. Good night, Shubhratri. Jai Hind, Namaskar.
राहुल गांधी कोई भी सिक्योरिटी के बगैर गए, उन्होंने खुद कहा है कि देखिए मैंने लाल चौक में झंडा फहरा दिया। उनको ये मालूम नहीं है आपके समय में नहीं फहरा सकते थे, आज फहरा सकते हो, ये मोदी जी के कारण हुआ है।